growth, creating change. Here in the heart of Kansas City, we come together to create this hour of shared reflection so that we might be renewed in courage for these times and inspired to lives of greater dignity, higher purpose, deeper generosity, and more effective action. May the words and music and images that we offer today nourish our best selves, calling forth abundant wisdom and love, a love that has the power to overcome both loneliness in the heart and oppression in the world. Welcome to our service.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome on this Super Bowl Sunday. Without the Chiefs, the only thing we'll have to look forward to is the commercials and the halftime. I'm Jean Patterson, a member of All Souls, and whether you're here in the room or watching us online, we're glad you're here, and your presence enriches all of us and our time together. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Our tradition is a big tent with room for many beliefs and approaches to the questions that matter. It's our values of inclusion, compassion, and justice that hold us together. We seek to build the beloved community, making room for everyone, and creating a world where everyone's needs are met. You may be new here this morning. I know there's somebody new here because I passed a Massachusetts license plate in a visitor's spot today. Welcome. We know that your first time attending a church, you may want to keep a low profile and just check things out, and that's fine. We're glad you're here. And if you're a visitor and excited to be here and to let us know that you're here, we invite you to raise your hand at this time. Yay! Oh, several. Great. Great. Thank you for enriching all of us with your presence today. Whoever you are and whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you're welcome here. You're invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you today. Our candle of memory is lit this morning for a long time and a lifelong member, Bev Otteson. We also remember her husband, Ted Otteson, another longtime and beloved member here. We remember them with this candle.
Before I share our opening words, I would like to extend my apologies to everyone who is here and is a visitor. This Sunday is the celebration of our pledge drive kickoff. It is the Sunday that we're going to talk about money, and it's really intended for those who are part of this community to encourage the generosity to support our operating budget, which is such a juicy thing. So my apologies to those of you who are here for a message that is more than please give money. I have done my best to give you some of that, but I also have a message of please give us money. It is not intended to those of you who are brand new. May you be filled with your time with us today. May you come back and experience a service that's not about money. And we're truly blessed to have you here. Our opening words. We come to dig our roots deep into the earth, to touch all that can feed us, Feed our minds, our hearts, feed our souls. We come to reach leaves and stems upwards, reaching for all that is around us, bathed in the sun, growing us, growing our minds, growing our hearts, growing our souls. We come to witness one another, opening ourselves to wonder and love and the power of community, blossoming with our minds, blossoming with our hearts, blossoming with our souls. We bloom together. We thrive together, beloved as this community within the wider community. Come, let us worship together.
Our chalice lighting words are by the Reverend Michelle Collins. We kindle this light for the work that takes time, the seeds unseen rooting, the tide's patient carving, the small turning of heart toward open ground. We look towards what is slow and true, the steady flame that sustains our days. And now, please stand as you're able and join in the affirmation of our covenant, then remain standing as we join together in song. Together we affirm, goodwill is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
I invite anyone who thinks it would be fun to come sit on the floor on this lovely carpet and hear me talk about soil to please come forward and do so. Good morning. Good morning. So good to see you all. When I got out of my car the other day and when I went out of my house this morning, I smelled something in the air. It smelled like spring. Did anybody else smell that this week? Yeah. That soil's starting to come to life. So what is soil? It's the thing you use to plant trees. Anybody else want to add to that? Yep. You can make stuff with soil, particularly if that soil has a high clay content. Anybody else want to define soil before I pull out the dictionary? All right. So the dictionary. You're going to pull out a dictionary? Well, not a physical one, but you know, the internet version of a dictionary, right? Okay. It defines soil as the upper layer of earth in which plants grow, or a black or dark brown material typically consisting of a mixture of organic remains, clay, and rock particles. All right? So really, what is soil? Soil's dirt. It's dirt, it's rich, it's got good stuff in it. But I like to think of soil as a community. Okay, so there's three main mineral components of soil: the clay, the sand, and the silt. And then there's also some of this organic matter made from decayed plant and animal material. And so when that organic matter is really broken down so it can't decompose anymore, it's called humus, which is not related to the stuff made out of chickpeas, but does share a root with the word human. In addition to minerals and organic matter, this might take me a second. Also in the soil are billions of microorganisms. Microorganisms, little living things that you have to use a microscope to see. And they're tiny, tiny life forms, like the bacteria, and the fungi. So these microbes, these fungi, which is, the stuff that turns into mushrooms, together with the roots of the plants, make up the community that's the soil. Just like we humans need to get certain nutrients from our food to be healthy, so do plants. Plants are sunlight powered, and they make their own food out of air and water and sunlight. But just like we can't healthily live on a diet of carbs and sugar alone as much as we want to, there are some nutrients that plants need that they can't get through the photosynthesis process of turning sunlight and air and water into sugar. So luckily, they've developed a system of exchange with soil microbes. The microbes are able to break down minerals in rocks or capture nutrients from the air. And then in this and other ways, they get these important nutrients into forms that the plants can take up with their roots. And in exchange, the plants put down through their roots some of that sugar that they make from photosynthesis. And all of this is happening under the soil's surface. We can't even see it, but there's all of these different organisms and plants and roots and like earthworms all working together to make this thing that is the soil, that they work together to enrich, and that they also take what they need from. So they take care of one another. They are a community that cares for one another. Just like it is so important for us to take care of one another. One family might need something that another family can provide. the proverbial, do you ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar? And then when the need is more than a single other family can meet, then all of the families give the little bit that they can to help take care of everyone else. So just like the plants can't thrive without the microbes in the soil, and the microbes in the soil can't thrive without the plants, we can't thrive without each other. All of us need one another. We can't grow beautifully like the plants and the mushrooms without the love and care of our church community, our families, and our neighbors. So all of us are connected, just like everything in the soil, and all of us need one another. Probably more than you needed to learn about microorganisms and soil, but I think it's really important, and I will now have you go to your classes while we sing. It is such a pleasure to be with you all this morning.
Go now in peace, may love guide all your ways. Beauty be the blessing of your nights and days. Truth on your lips and kindness in your deeds. Faith to follow where the human spirit leads. Good morning. I'm Bonnie Postlethwaite. I'm the chair of the Stewardship Committee, and we run the pledge drive. Today we are launching a 3-week formal pledge drive to fund the All Souls operations for fiscal year 27, which starts July 2026 and runs through June of 27. So what is a pledge? A pledge is a commitment of financial support for the church for the coming fiscal year. Honoring a pledge comes later in the form of regular contributions, which might be weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever works for you, in the amount that works for you, and that all starts in July of each year. A pledge may be honored by setting up regular automatic payments directly from your checking account or by writing a check. There are other options for meeting your commitment, but these two are the most common ways people do it. At any time, if your circumstances change, you can make adjustments to your pledge for the current or upcoming fiscal year. So, why do we conduct a pledge drive each year? In my mind, there are 3 reasons that we do this. The first is we need to create a budget. The second is it gives us time for personal reflection as to the value of the church to each of us individually. And finally, it gives us time as a community to think about the vision of our future as a church. So let's go through those. Budget creation. The first step in creating an annual budget proposal that the board will eventually approve for congregational vote at the annual meeting in May is the pledge drive. Critical to any budget is understanding the revenues that are all anticipated in order to meet expenses. For All Souls, a large category is the anticipated giving, our pledges and automatic contributions. There are other categories including revenues from Simpson House operations, fundraising activities such as the auction, endowment distributions, etc. There are several other categories. So what about personal reflection? So why is All Souls important to you? Each of us should reflect on this question periodically. A pledge drive gives us all a focused time to pause and think about the value the church brings to each of us and commit support accordingly. Each of us will have different reasons why All Souls plays an important role in our lives. From the 3-year-old who is growing and learning to navigate life to the 90-year-old who still seeks to maintain long-time relationships and traditions while building new ones, to all the other life stages in between, we should be contemplating how the church meets those needs at any given point in time. I personally find enormous value in this community of like-minded people who are making a difference in the lives of people around us as we create change towards a just and compassionate society. Taking the time to reflect on the importance of All Souls and its values during the pledge drive encourages honest commitment, not just in financial support, but also in the donation of our time and talent. When it comes to the vision for the church, as a church community, we begin a new era with our new settled minister, Reverend Erin Dajka Holley. Yay. All this at a time when the world around us is going through enormous turmoil. The time is ripe to take a fresh look at what our vision for the future should be going forward. How can we be our best selves, facing the world with compassion and conviction? What would an inspirational vision for the church look like? For our theme this year, we selected growth. As Reverend Erin's sermon title suggests, we need to grow beyond numbers. We aren't just about how many members or how well we've reached our pledge drive goal. We are about growing spiritually, about growing our social justice efforts, growing a next generation of UUs, growing our compassion and love for our neighbors. There are so many ways to grow as a church community and as individuals. The church is our safe place in which to do all of these things. This year, we want to focus on growing into living our values, particularly as it pertains to caring for our staff. For many years now, we have been unable to provide health insurance for our staff. With the loss of ACA subsidies, our staff are facing the hard decision of the high cost of health insurance or dropping it altogether. We are not living our values if we cannot take care of our own. Additionally, our staff compensation is woefully under the recommended UUA salary ranges for church staff working within this region. If we can take on these initiatives, we would be able to hold our heads high that we are truly walking the walk. Of course, these are expensive goals to reach, so we have set a very high goal this year of $390,000 for our pledge drive. I'm uplifted by the thought of finding a way to do the right thing and celebrate this vision and a new era for the church. So please join us today after the service in the lobby for the reception to celebrate All Souls. The search committee members will be on hand to answer questions about the pledge drive and help you complete your pledge if you need assistance. The first 20 people to pledge will receive one of these lovely, sustainably sourced tote bags. Today we celebrate growth in all types. We celebrate the start of a new era at All Souls. Join me in new commitment, new reflection, and new visions. Thank you.
My name is Jonda Boyce.
I'm Zach Sudbury.
I'm Shanna Jones.
I'm Jack Deathridge.
I've been a member of All Souls for over 60 years.
I started coming to All Souls 6 or 7 years ago.
For a little over 7 years. I just hit the 10-year mark.
I'm a member of All Souls. I'm also a freelance illustrator, artist, and a muralist.
Anthony invited me to come sing, and I was like, well, I don't really do churches, and he's like, well, this isn't like any other church.
It's very appealing to me to be a part of an over 150-year tradition of people who spoke truth to power.
We wanted to go to church because we wanted to bring our kids, and they all grew up at All Souls. We like the philosophy, the sermons.
It just became clear that this was a liberal place, and I'm a flaming liberal.
I love the community here and I love the members here. I love this project and I like being able to express myself as freely as possible.
From the beginning, the people impressed me and the spirit of collaboration and working together to challenge each other and to do important things and build a better world.
Every sermon felt challenging intellectually and inspiring, and everyone was so kind.
Lately, I've been getting a lot out of services because I need help, because I'm despairing, because I can't fix a lot of things that are wrong.
Things feel really dark right now, very exclusive, very violent, and I think one form of protest is to create space for light, places of love and places of joy and places of inclusion.
Well, I see opportunity. I think that it's going to do good.
There's a lot of conversations happening about what is it we want to build, and it really feels like something that we are choosing.
Well, Melanie and I were chatting about what she wanted initially to brighten up the basement. She's like, I want to do like an actual mural that is going to get the kids excited. We like the idea that they are essentially blooming with every year and they're constantly growing and changing, and a mural like this reflects them.
You know, there's a spiritual practice going on down there in the kitchen in Conover too. I had no idea how much work it takes to rescue and prepare and process and take to the park all the food that comes through All Souls. I'd like to see us go big again for Pride next summer. I think the LGBTQ community needs it more than ever, and I think that All Souls has a lot to offer.
Being in the choir, I have a very good view of the congregation, and it's been so exciting to watch those seats fill up and to see these faces that really want connection.
You know, we had that great choir we have now.
I love seeing all the kids. There's so many kids now. I am now teaching the children's choir, and it's so fun to see these little ones coming in.
I think the place is pretty full because I think that word has spread. These are trying times, and All Souls' reputation is welcoming.
We can walk into that building and meet as a community that stands for justice and stands for love and stands for inclusion.
That's why this church has meant so much to me, because my 13-year-old son was killed in a car accident. Then my husband died, and I've had 2 children married in the church. All of the events that have happened in my married life, the church has really been there to make a really big difference. You never know when you're going to need things like that.
I think anything's possible. I think we here at All Souls have a history and a tradition of contributing to meaningful change. It's in the sermons, it's in the songs that are sung, it's in the spirit with which people greet each other. There's all of these ways to plug in and be a part of it.
I think this says a lot of great things for the future of All Souls, being the fact that something like this is as fun and as simple and as refreshing.
There's nobody else in Kansas City that I would want to give a chunk of money to every month. It makes me feel better to look around and see other people who are ready to jump in and make good trouble.
It's really important to give to the church. I want to be able to walk in the church and it's warm and it's cool and we can have parties and meetings and weddings and all sorts of things like that. Important.
Give All to Love by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Excuse me. Give all to love, obey thy heart, friends, kindred, days, estate, good fame, plans, credit, and the muse, nothing refuse. 'Tis a brave master, let it have scope, follow it utterly, hope beyond hope. It was never for the mean, it requireth courage stout, souls above doubt, and valor unbending. It will reward, they shall return more than they were, and ever ascending.
Just a few weeks ago, I sat in a church a couple of miles from where I once lived, and I listened to the pastor and members of an immigrant Lutheran church talk about the ways they dedicated their congregation to improving the health of their community. This church holds its services in Spanish and English, although when it was founded in the 19th century, its two languages were Norwegian and English. They hold their sanctuary sacred, a safe place for anyone and everyone, and after church, they have Reiki practitioners and acupuncturists there in the sanctuary to offer free care to anyone who comes. And the care providers speak Spanish, offering that extra connection and sense of safety to their patients that they can't otherwise find in our health system. This church has its own free clinic in the basement. It's staffed by medical and nursing students, and it has its own pharmacy. So in these times, as the surrounding city and state are under occupation by federal agents who target anyone who doesn't look white or who speaks Spanish, the clinic is finding new ways with telehealth. They will serve their community, even if it is unsafe for their community members to leave their homes. And they're finding ways to deliver the prescriptions too. The church's neighborhood and community in Minneapolis rely on their care. And our group of more than 100 clergy, mostly from out of state, were welcomed into their space. We watched the sun stream through the stained glass windows, listened to the steam hiss in the radiators to keep us warm while it was 10 degrees below zero outside. I saw the Progress Pride flag draped from the balcony and read the sign in Spanish that stated that they are here and that they will stay. They will not be moved. So right now, the entire Twin Cities area is functioning because of mutual aid, because of people connecting with others in their community to make sure that needs are met. So that church I was in provides medical care and contributes to the network that delivers food and essential goods to immigrants' homes. And every neighborhood has multiple signal groups, coordinating rapid response teams that show up when ICE is nearby, identifying who needs help getting their kids delivered to school or having food show up. There are organizations and individuals who are collecting items and money to just give to those most impacted. At the end of January, there was a huge push for money to help families whose members are afraid to go to work be able to make rent. Activists and even the Minneapolis City Council are begging Governor Walz to enact an eviction moratorium to keep families from being tossed out of their homes during the bitter winter cold. The memes that Minnesotans post online are clear. Eviction equals death. So many people are there for one another, contributing to one another. They aren't asking questions about worthiness. They're simply responding to the ask, responding with compassion, pooling what little each can provide to gather staggering amounts of resources. Because neighbors belong. Because the only ones who can help are the ones who are there. They are living out interdependence, knowing that everyone is impacted in their own ways. Keep people alive. Keep people safe. Keep people fed and warm. Neighbors are neighbors are neighbors. And in all of this chaotic milieu, everyone is enriched. This is the soil we talked about with the children. It is the community of plants and microbes and fungi and trees and beetles and earthworms. Each receives and each gives. Each connected intricately to others for survival and growth. The soil, the truth of community, is so much more than warm greetings, a good feeling, and gatherings that might have food. It is rich, it is deep, and it is essential to the well-being of everything and everyone connected to it. Without every part of the community, every part of the soil and the life within, all are diminished, because none is separate. None is without responsibility to help the community thrive. All of us need all of us. And so then we reach that part of my sermon where things get tricky, and everyone braces themselves for discomfort. And those who chose to stay home instead of being here feel that intentional relief still mixed with guilt. Because this is the sermon where I break Midwestern etiquette and talk about money. Don't worry, I'm uncomfortable too. Because, a part of that money that I get to talk to you about is my own salary. Like all nonprofits, All Souls relies on donations to exist. Like all nonprofits, we have lots of expenses, from building to programming to staff. And unlike most nonprofits, though, there is no larger organization that can fund us. We fund the National Association, and there are no grants to which we can apply for operating expenses, and we can't recruit corporate underwriters like NPR does. We are mostly self-funded. Yes, We receive an annual distribution from the endowment, which is, of course, made up of donations over a long period of time. And then we have the profits from the Simpson House, which is doing better than ever. So all those do go immediately to the church. But combined, they are less than a quarter of the church's income. Everything else comes as donations. The expected giving from this pledge drive, the fundraisers like the auction, and other donations and bequests. And we're making a huge ask this year. And I want you to really understand why we're coming to you with goals much, much higher than last year. First, in July, our insurance sent us the paperwork to continue our policy with them. It increased the deductibles, decreased coverage amounts, and more than doubled our premiums. We had been paying about $20,000 in premiums for a number of years. The new bill, $54,000. The increase is 170%, $34,000 more than we had budgeted. We're looking for other options. But unless something less expensive becomes possible through the Unitarian Universalist Association's diligent work to find an alternative for its member congregations, we're probably facing that bill again for next year. That's just where that is. An extra $34,000 needed to just cover building and liability insurance. I preach a lot about caring for each other. I preach about equity, I preach about justice, and I know that you support the values I preach. I know that you are with me, that it is imperative for us to live out our values every day in our personal lives and in our wider communities. This is central to All Souls, central to Unitarian Universalism. We put love at the center of our values, and from it extends justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. We know that simply stating these values and not living them is hypocritical. It is empty. It is devoid of the meaning that we seek to make out of our lives. Of course, we support taking care of everyone. We call legislatures. We call city council members. We sign petitions. We show up for meetings, for protests, for calls to action. We vote our consciences, especially when we can help and protect others. We are the soil, and we are everything in the soil, so much further than our own families and congregation. But we don't provide health insurance to our employees. We did once, and in 2016, church leadership found that the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare subsidies, would make it possible for our employees to obtain coverage for a lot less money than we were paying for the health plan provided by the UUA. The intention was always to pay employees extra in an amount that would be similar to what our employer contribution for health insurance had been. But excellent intentions, they sometimes fall short, especially when they aren't necessarily written down as policy. So it came to be considered that we just simply don't cover health insurance. And think about how much health insurance premiums have skyrocketed since 2016. Our employees have been paying for those out of their salaries, which also have not kept up with inflation. Because, like most churches in the country, we have struggled financially. It is important that we support the congregation in its longevity, and as it is, we have had budget shortfalls for most years, for further back than 2016. These are truths about what is possible and what is not. Truths about inflation and stagnated wages, truths about housing prices, truths about rising healthcare costs, truths about childcare costs. All of us know that you have your own financial struggles because all of this affects all of us. And all of it is real, and that balance is thin and challenging. We are a congregation growing into our future, right now dreaming up what we want to become in the coming years, getting passionate about what may be possible, firing up to defend our neighbors and our country. Our formal visioning process has only begun. But the search committee heard from you how you want to deepen connections, how much you imagine our church as a bold voice in our community for justice, equity, and love. You are wondering what it might look like, what it might take to expand our activism beyond individual efforts into all of our efforts combined to make lasting change. You asked for a minister who will help you attain this dream. And I am honored that you have selected me. And sometimes that activism starts at home. Our values of equity and justice need to include our own staff. Most of our staff not only do not receive health insurance, but are also underpaid, according to UUA guidelines for a congregation of our size and for the cost of living in our area. Can we make it possible to pay our staff fairly and provide the benefits they need? It's a lot of money. I won't lie. We're trying to raise $50,000 more in pledges than we did last year. To do that, we need each family to give an additional $300, acknowledging that some are in a position to increase substantially more than that, and others aren't in a position to even give that amount. Each of us has our own reality to manage, and each of us has our own wellspring of generosity. Our church will never demand any amount from you. We don't tithe. Your eternal soul does not depend on how much you give. Our Universalist roots tell us that all are saved. But I will always ask, what feels generous to you? What isn't just that little something you give because you generally support what an organization is doing? What feels in your soul as though you are claiming that this is your church home, that it belongs to you, and that you take care of it as a part of your family? As the soil around you allows you to thrive, how are you giving back to it, keeping the soil itself healthy? How are you supporting it financially? How are you giving your time and your skills to its needs? All Souls isn't this building or the staff. All Souls is every one of us together, the community, the soil itself. We are mutual aid for one another and our church, giving, receiving, caring, and from it we grow. Stop thinking about church growth as numbers, even today when I'm telling you numbers. Growth isn't about membership. It's not about attendance at services or programming or how much money we can raise. Church growth is about that soil and how it affects all of us individually and together. How does All Souls help you grow as a person? To be a person who moves ever toward love, who gives your all to love, obeying what your heart knows is right in all that you do. How does All Souls grow as a community with stronger relationships, deeper understandings of one another, and connections that form to help one another and that will move far beyond just this church? How does All Souls grow in justice, ever increasing our commitment to justice, to the world, to all of our neighbors and neighbors of neighbors and neighbors of neighbors, so that we not only provide care to those in need, but also take the kind of action that shifts power structures, so that everyone is treated with equity and fairness and with institutions that offer real support. You are in this soil, and I hope that it is helping you to grow. Just as you are in this soil, providing nutrients to keep the soil healthy, to help everything else grow. The soil is community. All Souls is community, and I see us reaching our faces towards the sun, towards hope, towards justice, and growing all that we are, stronger, deeper, taller, and all interconnected. We keep love at the center, and our outpourings from a place of love. With that, we grow. Spirit, and let us sing together.
Hello, my name is Scott Sinclair. with pronouns him and his, and I'm a new member of the Stewardship Committee. My wife Cheryl and I have been members of All Souls for a little over a year. I grew up in a very conservative part of the country, Arkansas, in a conservative family, and was essentially born into a Christian denomination called Community of Christ. Although I was a minister, full-time pastor and bishop there for over 18 years, I became more and more liberal through my life journey. It became difficult for me to even sing the hymns of that church because of the non-inclusive language and the theology which I no longer believed. I sometimes sang different words, but other people didn't seem to like that, and perhaps it was my singing too, or joyful noise anyway. Eventually, my sense of ethics forced me to freely give up my ministerial credentials, and I seldom attended any church for several years. Having a doctorate degree in philosophy, I sometimes taught world religion classes in the St. Louis area. When my classes came to Christianity, I occasionally had students ask me that if they could no longer believe in the Trinitarian formula, doesn't happen to be in the Bible after all, is there another option? My stock answer was, go check out the Unitarians. Well, eventually, I decided to follow my own advice. A little over 3.5 years ago, I joined the Unitarian Church of St. Louis. UU, for me, is a perfect fit. It was then, it is now. I am very grateful to be here. When Cheryl and I moved to Lee Summit, we quickly chose to become members of All Souls. I agree with Anthony and Shanna that this isn't like any other church, for goodness sake. All Souls is like a jewel with many different facets, all of which seem to me to be set uniquely in this time period for growth. I do not need to repeat all the good points made by Bonnie and those in the brilliant video by Joe Robertson or the words just shared with us today, but I do want to affirm several things. First, I want to serve in a church where I am warmly greeted at the door by people like Peg and John and Angie and many others, where people are glad because we came, and I am glad in turn to greet them. That is All Souls UU. I want to be in a community where the services of music, like last week in particular, and spoken words, like today, challenge, inspire, and excite me. I want to be in a church where I can sing every word in the hymnal. That is All Souls UU. I want to serve in a church that advances justice, so what I can do personally grows through working with others. That is All Souls UU. I am very grateful for the acceptance, support, and friendship which I and Cheryl and I have found in this church. We are grateful, and I consider it a joy and an honor to be able to serve in common cause with all of you. A year ago, Cheryl and I made and paid a pledge which we thought as new members to be appropriate. But this year, when we thought about the many facets of All Souls and the unique growth potential which is here, I knew that we had to give much, we could do much, much better, given all the love that we have received here. May I suggest that we all reappraise the values that we receive in this loving and supportive community, and that we give not only enough to nourish growth, but rather that we pledge enough that our growth together may absolutely flourish as a movement of love. The offering will now be generously given and graciously received.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. Oh, we've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Ah, oh, 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 ah, oh, ooh, ooh. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
Thank you, Shanna. You brought me to church. We release this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. the soil. Absorb what you need. Give all that you can. Allow for growth. Growth for you, for us, for the presence of love all around.